The stars stretched endlessly outside the viewport of the starship Aurora, a ribbon of silver light cutting through the darkness of space. Captain Alex Mercer leaned on the railing of the observation deck, eyes following the distant shimmer of the Andromeda frontier. This was uncharted territory, a place where no human had traveled before, and every day brought a mix of wonder and danger. Alex felt a thrill that never faded, even after years of commanding ships through the cosmos. Humans were explorers born to push boundaries, and this mission was the culmination of decades of preparation. The crew had trained tirelessly for months, learning alien languages, survival skills, and diplomatic protocols. And now, finally, they were here. "Captain," said Lieutenant Mara Singh, her voice calm but alert, "we're entering the orbit of Lyriana 3. Sensors show signs of civilization on the northern continent. It looks advanced. Remember diplomacy first." Courage and wit combined with humility were the keys to making allies in a universe full of unknowns. As the Aurora descended into orbit, a holographic projection appeared in the control room. It was Liara, the Princess of Lyriana, appearing larger than life, her violet eyes glimmering with curiosity. Her image radiated calm authority, yet there was a sparkle of humor hidden in her expression. "Captain Mercer," her voice resonated across the room, soft and melodic, "welcome to Lyriana 3. We have been expecting your arrival." Then she tilted her head slightly, a gesture that seemed almost playful. "Peace is welcome," she said, "but humans are known for unpredictability. I hope you do not disappoint." "And I promise, our unpredictability comes with a lot of good intentions, and occasionally humor." The Lyriani had constructed a welcoming area with floating lights, gardens of glowing plants, and bridges that twisted gracefully into the sky. Alex's team descended carefully, weapons holstered, minds alert, and hearts racing with anticipation. As they stepped onto the platform, a light breeze carried the subtle scent of alien flowers. The air was different here, richer, filled with the hum of energy flowing through the city. Liara appeared in person, her regal robes flowing around her. She regarded the humans with a mixture of curiosity and amusement. Alex stepped forward. "Princess Liara, it is a pleasure to meet you in person." Her voice was softer now, warmer, yet still held the composure of royalty. "Your reputation precedes you. I hear humans are resourceful and persistent. We shall see if your actions match your words." Alex couldn't resist joining in. "Seems we already have something in common, clumsy charm." Alex realized that humor, so often overlooked, could bridge worlds. After the greetings, Liara guided the humans through the city. Floating platforms moved smoothly beneath their feet, and the buildings shimmered with energy, reflecting the Lyriani mastery of technology. Citizens glanced curiously at the humans, whispering among themselves, yet none showed hostility. The city was peaceful, welcoming, yet filled with an undercurrent of vigilance, as if it expected anything at any moment. As they walked, Alex noted subtle details. The Lyriani were tall, elegant, and their movements were precise, almost like a dance. Their technology was deeply integrated with nature. Glowing plants powered energy conduits, and small robotic creatures tended gardens and public spaces. Despite the beauty and sophistication, there was a sense of order, even rigidity. "Your people, they live with balance," Alex observed quietly. "There is technology, but it feels alive. Without it, even the most advanced society falls. Humans, you adapt quickly. That is admirable, though sometimes reckless. You humans, you always find a way to amuse and confuse in equal measure." Alex and his team navigated the conversation, answering questions, explaining humanity's intentions, and showing respect for Lyriani customs. During the council, a minor crisis emerged. Sensors indicated a small energy anomaly outside the city, a sign that a rogue faction might be testing the humans' abilities. Alex noticed it immediately, subtle fluctuations in the city's energy grid that most Lyriani missed. "Princess Liara," he said quietly, leaning close. "There's something you should see. It's small, but it could indicate a test or trouble." She appreciated his attention to detail, his courage to point out potential threats, and his calm approach. In that instant, the seeds of mutual respect and friendship were sown, an alliance that might one day be crucial. After the council meeting, Liara escorted Alex and the crew to a quiet garden, a place filled with glowing trees and soft pools of water reflecting the city lights. They walked together, exchanging stories of their worlds, their challenges, and the humor that humans carried everywhere they went. At one point, Alex told a story of a human tradition, a festival where people light lanterns to guide lost travelers home. Liara listened intently, eyes wide with curiosity. "Your ways are strange and delightful. We have nothing quite like it." Alex knew that the path ahead would not be easy. There would be misunderstandings, challenges, and perhaps even danger. But for the first time, he felt that humanity had a chance not just to survive among the stars, but to thrive and leave a mark on civilizations far older and wiser than themselves. As the humans returned to the Aurora, the princess watched from her balcony. Her expression was thoughtful, a smile tugging at her lips. She had not expected to enjoy the presence of humans so much, or to find someone whose humor and courage matched her own sense of curiosity. Alex looked back at her, a small wave and a friendly smile exchanged across the distance. In that silent, fleeting moment, both felt a connection, light-hearted, respectful, and full of potential. The stars above sparkled as if in approval. Humanity had arrived in Liriana 3 not just as visitors, but as beings capable of forming bonds, inspiring trust, and proving that courage, wit, and laughter could reach across worlds. And somewhere in the depths of the city, a violet-eyed princess quietly whispered to herself, a smile on her face. "Perhaps humans are not as reckless as they seem, and perhaps they are exactly what we need." The morning sun of Liriana 3 spread golden light over the crystalline city, making the floating bridges shimmer like threads of gold. Captain Alex Mercer and his crew stood on the observation deck of the Aurora, preparing for another day of meetings and exploration. Their first day had gone well, with introductions, polite conversation, and small moments of laughter that had surprised both humans and Lyriani alike. But diplomacy was never simple. The Lyriani valued order, precision, and careful thinking. Any misstep could have serious consequences, and humans had to prove their worth not just as visitors, but as partners. Lieutenant Mara Singh checked her data pad, scanning reports from the previous evening. "Captain, all readings from the city show normal energy levels. The anomaly we noticed yesterday seems contained. No immediate threat, but it's worth monitoring. The last thing we want is to create distrust on our first official day. Humans sleep best after adventure, and yesterday was certainly an adventure of its own." "I suppose that is true. Come, we have much to discuss." Any gesture, any word could carry meaning beyond their understanding. The session began with formalities. Liara introduced each member of the human team, noting their roles and contributions. Alex noticed the attention to detail, the way every word and gesture was measured, deliberate. He knew that gaining trust here required patience and understanding. A senior advisor, tall and stern-faced, leaned forward. "Captain Mercer, humans claim to value exploration and knowledge. Yet, history shows that humans often act recklessly. Why should we trust you with our cities and our technology? But we also learn quickly from mistakes, and we value cooperation. We are here to build trust, not to take advantage. Humor, curiosity, and courage guide our actions as much as skill or technology. Let our actions, not just words, show your intentions." Humans were aware that their success here depended on more than knowledge. It depended on understanding another species' way of thinking. During a short recess, Alex and Liara walked in one of the palace gardens. The air was filled with the scent of alien flowers and the soft hum of energy flowing through the city. "You handled the council well," Liara said, her tone thoughtful. "You are not as reckless as some advisors believe. You understand subtleties. Charm can open doors where technology cannot. I believe cooperation works best when both sides are honest and willing to laugh. Humor builds bridges just as much as diplomacy." Alex's engineers were impressed, taking notes and asking questions. They marveled at the Lyrian ability to maintain balance between technology and nature. Suddenly, one of the crew noticed a small fluctuation in the energy grid, a subtle signal, almost imperceptible but enough to raise suspicion. "Captain, sensors show a brief spike near the northern sector," Lieutenant Singh reported. Alex's expression became serious. "Show me." "It may be nothing, but I believe it is worth investigating. Would you allow us to assist?" Floating platforms and walkways stretched over sparkling gardens and energy pools. The city looked peaceful, yet Alex's instincts told him that vigilance was necessary. As they approached the location, they discovered evidence of tampering with energy conduits. It was subtle, small shifts in flow and minor recalibrations, but someone had deliberately interfered. Alex examined the readings. "This is not an accident. Someone is testing us or trying to send a message." "You see clearly, Captain. I am impressed." Whoever did this did not intend to harm anyone directly, yet the message was clear. Humans were being watched, tested, and measured. Liara's expression was serious. "This is troubling, yet I trust your judgment. What do you propose?" Provoking them could escalate the situation, but ignoring it could be dangerous. We have to balance caution with action. Despite the tension, Alex noticed how humans and Lyriani could complement each other. Where humans brought intuition, curiosity, and humor, the Lyriani brought precision, knowledge, and discipline. Together, they were stronger. As evening fell, the city glowed under multiple moons. Alex and Liara returned to the palace garden, where soft light reflected off pools of water. They spoke quietly about their worlds, their challenges, and the differences between humans and Lyriani. "You humans, you are unpredictable," Liara said, smiling. "Yet you adapt quickly. You learn from observation and intuition, not just rules. That is admirable. It's all about balance, right?" Humans had proven that they could navigate complex diplomacy, notice subtle threats, and maintain humor and humanity in difficult situations. And Princess Liara, once distant and formal, now showed a warmth and curiosity that hinted at future collaboration. The stars above sparkled like countless eyes watching over the city. Alex felt a sense of pride, not arrogance, but deep satisfaction. Humanity had arrived at Lyriana 3 not as conquerors, but as allies capable of building trust, solving problems, and connecting across worlds. And somewhere in the palace, Liara smiled quietly, thinking of the strange and fascinating humans who had appeared at her gates. She had not expected to enjoy their company so much, or to feel a growing sense of connection to one particular human, whose humor and courage reminded her of the best qualities her own people sometimes lacked. As the humans returned to the Aurora for rest, Alex glanced at the city one last time. He knew challenges awaited, tests, misunderstandings, and perhaps even danger. But he also knew that humans, guided by courage, intelligence, and a willingness to laugh in the face of uncertainty, could rise to meet them. The night settled peacefully over Lyriana 3, but the bond between human and Lyriani had been strengthened, and a new chapter of adventure and cooperation was beginning, one that might change the course of history in ways neither species could yet imagine. The next morning, Lyriana 3 skies were painted with soft hues of pink and gold. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the observation deck of the Aurora, reviewing data from the previous day. The subtle energy anomaly had vanished overnight, but Alex knew better than to ignore it. Some things in space were hidden until it was too late to act. Lieutenant Mara Singh approached, holding a tablet. "Captain, there's another fluctuation, smaller than before but very deliberate. It seems someone is testing the city's defenses, or ours." Princess Liara insisted on joining them, her curiosity and sense of responsibility compelling her. "I must understand this threat myself," she said calmly. "If humans are involved in our city's safety, I will see it firsthand. Your insight will be valuable." The changes were subtle but intelligent, carefully calculated shifts in the energy flow. Whoever was responsible was skilled and cautious, and their intentions remained unclear. Alex studied the data. This is no random act. Someone is observing, learning, and perhaps testing us. We need to proceed carefully. They will want to see if humans are reliable. They may also want to disrupt the treaty. Small lights blinked along the walls, highlighting patterns of interference. Mara whispered, "Captain, these adjustments are very precise. Whoever did this understands the city's technology." Liara, surprisingly agile, moved closer to the wall, blending with the shadows. Together, humans and Princess waited, analyzing the situation. A figure emerged, small, quick, wearing a cloak that shimmered like the city lights. The figure paused, looking around, then adjusted a conduit and disappeared down another corridor. Alex turned to Liara. "They are not trying to harm anyone directly. This is a test of observation and response. This is deliberate. They want us to notice, to interpret, and respond. Whoever this is, they respect intelligence and initiative." Alex and Liara monitored their progress. Minutes passed, tension mounting, until a sudden alert flashed on the system. Another fluctuation, larger this time, appeared near a secondary hub. Mara said, "Captain, they're escalating. Someone wants to see how we handle multiple pressures at once." That's what humans do best. As they completed the final adjustments, the system stabilized. No alarms, no harm, just a steady flow of energy. Alex let out a quiet sigh of relief. Liara turned to him. "You handled that well, Captain. Humans are resourceful, even under pressure. We wouldn't have done it alone." Liara addressed her council, explaining the subtle disturbances and the human team's handling of the situation. Some advisors were surprised, even impressed, by the humans' analytical skill and calm under pressure. One elder advisor leaned forward, frowning. "Captain Mercer, humans seem capable, perhaps more capable than we expected. We do not act alone. We rely on teamwork, observation, and reasoning. That is how we solve problems, whether on our world or elsewhere." Rogue factions, hidden motives, and cultural misunderstandings were part of any alliance, but with courage, intelligence, and empathy, humans could overcome them. That evening, the city glowed beneath multiple moons. Alex walked with Liara in the palace gardens once more, the soft hum of energy surrounding them. "You humans, you surprise me," Liara said, smiling. "You combine courage, cleverness, and lightness of heart in ways my people seldom do. You adapt so quickly. And perhaps they are exactly what Liriana needs right now. That is rare." In the midst of an unfamiliar world, humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and empathy could build bridges even in the most delicate situations. Later, as the humans returned to the Aurora, Alex reflected on the day's events. Rogue factions were a real threat, but humans had demonstrated qualities that transcended technology: observation, adaptation, reasoning, and humor. Liriana 3 was beautiful, advanced, and disciplined, yet the humans' qualities complemented it perfectly. Liara watched from her balcony, a small smile lingering. She thought of the human captain who had faced challenges calmly, guided his team wisely, and even laughed in moments of tension. Perhaps humans were not merely visitors, they were allies, capable of shaping the future alongside her people. The night settled over Liriana 3, quiet and serene, yet filled with potential. Humans had proven themselves again, and trust had grown deeper. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, and perhaps new tests. But for now, the bond between humans and Liriani had strengthened, and the galaxy felt just a little more connected. In that quiet moment, Alex realized that the universe was full of surprises, and that humanity's greatest strength lay not just in technology or courage, but in the ability to adapt, to think, and to connect, even across the vast distances between stars. And somewhere in the palace, Liara whispered to herself, a thoughtful smile on her lips, "Perhaps humans are exactly the kind of beings we need, clever, brave, and willing to laugh in the face of the unknown." The sun rose slowly over Liriana 3, casting long shadows across the crystalline city. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the Aurora's observation deck, looking out at the city below. Yesterday's events, the energy fluctuations, the subtle tests by a hidden faction, had made it clear that this mission would not be simple. Yet Alex felt confident. Humanity had proven that they could adapt, think creatively, and work together with their alien allies. Lieutenant Mara Singh approached, her expression serious. "Captain, I've run additional scans. The anomalies are increasing in frequency. Whoever is behind this is testing multiple systems simultaneously. They may be planning something larger." Princess Liara had insisted on accompanying the human team again. Her interest was genuine, not only in protecting her city but also in seeing firsthand how humans approach challenges. "You humans, you are persistent," Liara said lightly as they prepared to exit the shuttle. "Most species would have fled after just one incident. You seem to enjoy solving puzzles." "Solving puzzles is part of exploring. The universe is full of them, and humans are naturally curious. Curiosity keeps us alive and sometimes makes us better allies than brute strength ever could." Sensors indicated that multiple conduits had been subtly altered, some in ways that could destabilize the energy grid if left unattended. Alex examined the data carefully. Whoever was responsible was skilled, but they had underestimated human observation. "See this pattern?" Alex asked. "It's not random. The changes are meant to test reactions and problem solving. Whoever did this respects intelligence. They expect us to respond thoughtfully, not with force." Where humans brought intuition, quick judgment, and humor to ease tension, Liara brought deep understanding of the city's systems and insight into Lyriani thought patterns. Together, they made a strong team. As they worked, a faint vibration ran through the corridor. Alex froze, signaling the team to hold. A cloaked figure slipped along the shadows, moving with precision and silence. Liara's eyes narrowed. "They are bold. They wish to see if humans can respond under pressure." Small lights blinked rhythmically, indicating that the rogue's tampering was nearly complete. Alex studied the layout quickly. "We need to stabilize the nodes without alerting them. Everyone, move carefully. Timing is key." The combination of human ingenuity and Lyriani insight allowed them to anticipate problems before they could occur. Minutes passed with tense focus. Every adjustment had to be exact. If a conduit was misaligned, it could trigger a city-wide alert or even cause a temporary blackout. The rogue operatives seemed to sense their interference, moving to counteract their efforts. Alex realized that a direct confrontation would escalate the situation. Instead, he used a subtle tactic. He adjusted one conduit slightly, causing the rogue sequence to misalign just enough to force them to retreat. The rogue hesitated, then vanished into the shadows, leaving the team victorious without any direct confrontation. Liara's eyes gleamed with approval. "Clever. Humans often use tactics my people do not consider. Adaptation and thinking ahead. You are impressive, Captain Mercer." By late afternoon, the anomalies had ceased, at least for now. Liara led the humans to a quiet garden above the city to rest and reflect. The garden was a sanctuary, filled with glowing flora and gently flowing streams of energy. The team could relax, yet their minds remained alert, knowing that vigilance was always necessary. "You humans, you act quickly but with thought," Liara said, walking beside Alex. "Your methods are different from mine, yet they are effective. Perhaps this is why your species survives in the vastness of space. We may not always be graceful, but we try to solve problems efficiently." Humanity had proven its value once more, not through force, but through clever thinking, teamwork, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. As they rested, Liara shared stories of her own childhood, learning about responsibility, diplomacy, and the delicate balance of city life. Alex listened, fascinated by her perspective. Humans had their own lessons, but they often mirrored those of other civilizations. Courage, cleverness, and empathy were universally valuable. Suddenly, sensors aboard the Aurora indicated a minor energy spike in a distant sector of the city. Alex checked the readings. This is new. It's not connected to the previous disturbances. Something else may be happening. The spike was minor but unusual, concentrated near a research hub where Lyriani scientists were experimenting with new energy conduits. Alex studied the data. This isn't malicious, but it's unstable. We need to stabilize it before it causes any issues. Liara advised on patterns, predicting how the energy would flow and where problems might arise. The humans implemented adjustments, using their intuition and problem-solving skills to prevent any disruption. Minutes later, the system stabilized. No alarms, no damage, only smooth energy flow. The rogue faction had tested their response once again, but humans had proven capable of handling the challenge. Liara turned to Alex. You and your people have earned respect today, not just for skill, but for judgment, patience, and calm under pressure. That is rare, even among my own people. Humans cannot do everything alone in a world so different from our own. In the palace gardens, Liara and Alex paused once more. Captain, she said softly, I am beginning to see that humans are not merely visitors or observers. You are partners, allies, and perhaps something more. And we are ready to continue proving ourselves, in any way that helps your people and strengthens our alliance. They had faced tests, uncovered subtle threats, and proven that human ingenuity, courage, and cooperation could stand alongside Lyriani's skill and wisdom. Alex reflected on the day. Challenges would continue, but so would opportunities. Humanity had the ability to inspire trust, solve problems with creativity, and bring humor and light even in tense situations. Across the galaxy, these qualities would become their greatest strength. Liara watched the humans depart, a soft smile on her face. She thought of the clever captain who had guided his team calmly, made quick judgments without panic, and even shared laughter in moments of tension. Perhaps humans were exactly the allies her city had needed, brave, clever, and capable of adapting to a world that was not their own. The city of Lyriana III settled into quiet beauty, illuminated by its moons and glowing energy. But beneath the surface, bonds had strengthened, respect had grown, and the stage was set for future adventures. Humans had proven themselves once again, not with weapons or force, but with courage, intelligence, and a willingness to work together with beings from a different world. And somewhere in the palace gardens, Princess Liara whispered to herself, smiling quietly, humans may be unpredictable, but they are clever, brave, and loyal. Perhaps they are exactly what the universe needs. The morning light bathed Lyriana III in soft golden hues, reflecting off the crystalline towers and floating bridges of the city. Captain Alex Mercer stood on the observation deck of the Aurora, gazing at the city below. Today was different. The subtle tests and minor disruptions of the past days had prepared them, but now it was time for humans and Lyriani to show that their alliance could stand strong against any challenge, visible or hidden. Lieutenant Mara Singh approached, holding her tablet. Captain, sensors indicate that all previously affected sectors are stable. Energy flow is steady across the city. But Princess Liara has requested our presence for a final assessment with the Council. Captain Mercer, she said, today will be a test not of technology, but of cooperation, judgment, and trust. We will meet with my council to review your actions and finalize our agreements. Humans adapt quickly, and we work best as a team. Their observations, problem-solving skills, and teamwork have stabilized our city's energy systems and uncovered potential threats without causing alarm. Today, we shall determine whether humans are true allies, capable of partnership and trust. How can we be sure they will act responsibly when stakes are higher? That is how we approach every challenge. What do you propose as a path forward for humans and Lyriani? Together, we can achieve stability, progress, and peace for both our peoples. Humans will be granted access to participate in research, city management, and exploration of uncharted territories. This is a new chapter for our civilizations. We will honor this trust with diligence, intelligence, and when appropriate, a little humor to lighten tense moments. Humans and Lyriani signed the agreements, symbolizing not just cooperation, but the merging of ideas, creativity, and trust across worlds. After the formalities, Liara led Alex and his team to the city's central plaza, where a celebration had been arranged. Citizens of all ages gathered, curious about the humans who had earned the respect of their princess. Music and lights filled the air, reflecting the harmony between technology and nature that Lyriani had perfected. Alex noticed children watching him with wide eyes, whispering among themselves. "Humans can be brave and clever," one whispered. Alex waved lightly, earning shy smiles and laughter. Even small gestures built bridges of understanding across species. Liara walked beside him. "You see, Captain Mercer, your presence has inspired trust and admiration. Not through force, but through actions, judgment, and character. That is rare and valuable. Humor and kindness make those lessons easier to share." Later, in a quieter section of the plaza, Alex and Liara found themselves alone. The sun was setting, casting golden light over the city. "Captain," Liara said softly, "today was not just a test of skill, but of character. You and your team have shown courage, wisdom, and humor. I am grateful for your presence here. Humanity seeks to explore, to learn, and to build friendships across the stars. Lyriana has shown us the value of precision, discipline, and wisdom. Together, we can achieve more than either of us could alone. Perhaps humans are not only capable allies, but also friends who can teach us lessons we might never have learned alone." In that moment, the barriers of species and culture melted away, leaving only trust, respect, and the promise of a shared future. As night fell, the citizens of Lyriana III celebrated. Humans were included in the festivities, learning dances, games, and customs while sharing their own stories and traditions. Alex and his crew felt a sense of belonging and pride. They had faced tests, subtle threats, and cultural challenges, yet they had emerged stronger, wiser, and respected. Liara joined Alex on a balcony overlooking the city, the moons reflecting in the pools below. "Captain Mercer, your people have proven that courage, creativity, and humor are universal strengths. Today, humans and Lyriani have become partners, allies, and friends. And together, we will face the challenges of this galaxy, exploring new worlds, solving problems, and proving that trust and cooperation are stronger than fear or division." Humans had not only survived on an alien world, they had thrived, using intelligence, humor, courage, and respect to earn a place among one of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. As Alex looked up at the stars, he felt a sense of hope and purpose. Humanity had proven once again that they were more than explorers or survivors. They were problem solvers, allies, and builders of bridges across cultures, species, and worlds. Liara's voice broke his thoughts. "Captain, thank you for being who you are. Your actions have brought humanity and Lyriani closer than I ever imagined. You have my respect, my trust, and my friendship." Humans and Lyriani celebrated not just a successful mission, but a new beginning, a partnership founded on trust, courage, creativity, and understanding. Somewhere in the quiet palace gardens, Liara whispered to herself, smiling, "Humans are clever, brave, and capable of so much more than we expected. Perhaps they are exactly what this galaxy needs." The future was bright, filled with promise, partnership, and adventure. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, and together with the Lyriani, they would face whatever the universe had in store, fearless, clever, and united. As the moons reflected over the city and the stars sparkled above, humans and Lyriani laughed together, celebrated together, and dreamed together. The alliance they had built was more than practical. It was proof that courage, wisdom, humor, and respect could connect worlds and shape the galaxy for the better. In that moment, Alex realized that humans had always thrived not because of strength alone, but because of their spirit, their ingenuity, and their willingness to build bridges where others saw only distance. And somewhere nearby, Liara chuckled softly, thinking of the brave, clever, and sometimes unpredictable humans who had earned her trust, her admiration, and her friendship. The stars shone brighter that night, as if celebrating the bond between two species and the promise of countless adventures yet to come.